Welcome to this tutorial. So if you've ever forgotten to pay a bill, lost track of what's due this week, or you've had no idea how much to spend on a bill each year, this tutorial is for you. Now I'm going to be walking you through the bill payment calendar. It is a premium sheet template that helps you track every single recurring bill, and it does this automatically. By the end of this video, you would know exactly how to set it up from scratch, enter all the bills, read your calendar, mark payments, and helps you with the KPI dashboard. And I will show you both themes. So you get dark theme, which is the dark forest. You also get a soft minimal theme, and every feature, including the smart tip, annual snapshots, and the payment logs. If you want to follow along, the link to get your own copy is in the description below. Let's get started. So I'm just going to be starting with this README tab. So just a quick description about this tab. Yeah, so this is giving you all of the details you need to get started with this template. So you get what's included, you get a quick start, you get just basically telling you about the different tabs you get with this template. So one very cool thing here, it would be you get links, 2 links here. You get 1 link for getting a fresh copy of the template. So let's say while using this template, you make some mistakes, you should be able to click on this link and you are going to be getting a fresh copy of the template. You also get a link to this tutorial right now, okay, on this link here. So yeah, and this is the version number of this template. Now, so we're just going to be diving right in here. Once you're able to buy and you click on the link, so the Google Sheets is going to open up and ask you to make a copy. When you click on that, your personal copy is going to be saved to your personal drive. Okay, so the template is going to be all yours. You can rename it something like My Bills, and no one is going to be able to see it or edit it. So basically, it becomes yours. Now we go over to the settings tab, the next one we're going to be going over to. So with the settings tab, I'm just going to be walking you through here. So this is just a basic setup. Okay. Now you could see the things here to set up. So the first one would be this cell, C4. So when you're looking at this cell, you're just basically selecting your year, right? So you get the drop down from 2026 from the current year up to 2056. So yeah, so you have a whole lot ahead. So this is what you get for that. And for C9, you're just going to be looking at just selecting your name, whatever you want to put as your name. I just use John for an example. Yeah, so type your name here. It comes up, you get a welcome message at the top of the template. So it basically personalizes this template for you. You will go over here to C13. So this gives you your currency selector. So it's a drop down and you get so many, up to 30 currencies on this template, and you're able to go through each and every one of them. So basically, whatever currency you select is going to be appearing throughout the entire template, in the KPI cards, on the calendar dashboard, on everywhere. So once you set this up, the template is going to take whatever you give it and it runs with that. The next one would be for the theme. So these are the 2 basic themes we have. So the first one is the forest dark, which is what you're currently seeing right now. And the next one would be the soft minimal. So basically it changes to the light mode. You get the light mode and yeah, it comes up right now. Yeah, so it's just taking some time to run, but this is basically what you get. So the forest dark and the soft minimal. So with these 2 themes, you could always select whichever one works for you. So I just prefer this forest dark theme. I'm just going to go back to that and it's going to give me that. So while this is coming up, so we're going to go to the next tab, which is the categories tab. Okay. So basically for the categories tab, you're looking at setting up whatever you want to see show up in your billing data tab. Now, you already have this all set up for you, right? So for me, I'm not just going to add any other extra category here. I think this works fine for me. But basically, if you just want to add any new list, you could easily come in here and add something new. One, just put in the next one, new two, whatever you want to set up going. So that should be fine. So when you get this all set up, so you move over to the billing tab, and now, so you should be able to see whatever you've set up here. So I'm just gonna get this out here, category here. So you see, new one, new two, new three. Okay. So yeah, but then like I said, I'm just gonna work with what we already have. So this is all pre-selected. You don't have to work, you don't have to delete this. You don't have to change this. So this is what you're gonna be working with. So we're moving over to the billing tab now. So here, this is where we do the major setup. So we're gonna be entering all of the bills here. Okay. Now you can see the headers. Okay, so we're looking at dates, the name, the amount, we're looking at status, we're looking at categories, the frequency, and the end date. Okay, so the red cells, basically they're all red cells, so these are the input cells. Okay, so everything else is formula driven. So you make sure you're looking at putting in the details within these cells. And so there is something set up here just to protect the sheets. So you don't want to go changing the setup on the sheets, because there's going to be, let me just get that here. So you're going to be getting an error message here. So something like this. Okay. So you see here, when you get this, so basically you could just close this down or you could just cancel. Okay. Yeah, whichever one works. So we're just going to go through these lists here and see how we set up. So we're starting with the date. So the first one here, now this is a drop down. Okay. So for the monthly bill, you would want to use a January start date, or you could also select any other date that works for you. Okay. So basically what the system does is the system populates all of these and it gives you the date. It works with the date you give, and it generates the dates for the future months. Okay, so right now I started with January 1, my rent on my mortgage. Now basically what this is gonna do is it's just gonna populate the dates for me on the 1st of February, on the 1st of March, on the 1st of April, 1st of May, all the way down to December. Now, the amount you put in, I put in this amount. So there's something else to note here. Okay. The status we have here, so these are basically just for notes. The only option that gets to change the calendar behavior would be the end date. So this cell E6, so columns E all the way down, is just for note purposes. So you don't really have to make any major changes here. You just, whatever you want to select, set that up, and the system is just going to work with that. But then bear in mind, it's not going to be making any major changes on the calendar, okay? So the next one would be the category. You have all of these here: housing, electricity, water and sewage, transport and fuel, car loan, insurance. All of these here has been set up for you. So like I said, so these are the basic, the standard categories we have. And now your next column, you would be looking at the frequency for each of these bills. Now, this frequency is going to determine what exactly shows up on the calendar view. Okay, so it gives you everything you have within the year. So we're looking at monthly. So basically the monthly comes up every month, right? And here the weekly comes up every week. Bi-weekly, so the bi-weekly uses an interval of 14 days. Okay, all of them here, quarterly, annual, one time, just comes up one time, just the date you set, and that's it. So I think I've got some one-time bills here. My car service, I set up a one-time bill for that. So that comes up on this date. So it's just going to be showing up on this date alone. It doesn't change. It doesn't come up any date after this. So the one time and the custom frequencies, they use same behavior. So the pattern is to just come up once and that's it. It doesn't repeat itself, just like annually. So an annual bill comes up every year. So basically I have all of this set up, right? So this is just for a demo, right? For the sake of this tutorial. So I have all of these written out just to help us see how the bills are going to be coming up. Okay. Now we're going to be looking at the bill calendar. Okay, so the next tab, I just want us to look at this before we get to the payment log, okay, which we're still going to be coming to this. But let's look at the bill calendar, right? So this gives you the snapshot, it gives you the general overview of what everything you've put in on this template. Now, we are looking at several sections here, okay? So we're just going to be looking at the calendar view, the grid dates for now, right? So this here, we're looking at the month of May. So this is your month selector. So you just basically come in here, select the month you're looking at. You just have to pick the right month and the year. So one thing you might want to take note of here is when you have a wrong month and a wrong year selected, it's going to go into a blank mode. So let's take, for example, let's select a future here, July 2027. Just take a look and you see what's going to happen. So you see, everything goes blank. So this is just to let you know something is wrong here. So you just want to check this selector just to make sure everything is in sync with your setting here. So yeah, when you look at this, you need to make sure you selected the right year. And then we'll come back over here. We just have to change this back here. So we just give it 1 second. Okay. All right, so it's coming back up here. So we're just gonna be talking about these KPIs, your indicators, the dates, the markers, or small tip box, and the annual snapshot. We also talk about the monthly progress box, okay? Now, all the bills we have previously entered in the bill data tab, it comes up using the frequency we selected, it comes up on the calendar view. Okay, now the green, basically just what it means, the green is paid. So it lets you know what bill you have paid, and you get that, you generate that from here. So the amber is your due now. So one thing you would see on this calendar view would be, you would see a highlight here. So this is the 5th, right? So the highlight gives you the current date. Okay, so for each day, the highlighter is going to be moving, right? And when it moves, the bills in this very cell in the grid turns to amber. So it lets you know it's due now. You just have to work on it now, right? So if you do not make this payment and the date changes, it's going to turn to red. So this is basically the behavior of this calendar. So this gives you all of the details you need to work with for your bills. Now, remember, you just have to put in the bills just one time and it populates everything you need. Now, it gives you the billing frequency for the whole year, right? And if you're looking to switch, years, it's also going to generate the bills for any other year you select. But remember what I said, you have to make sure this is in sync with this, right? So yeah, so now we're going to be looking at the KPIs, the dashboard, okay? So we have these here, total bills, total pay. So the total bills, we're looking at the total amount of all bills in the month. So you would see here, all bills for the month. So for the month of May, this is the amount, the worth of the bills for the month of May, right? So for the next one is the total paid. So these are the bills that have been marked paid. Now, this is showing 0. Nothing has been paid for this month. Now, if we go over to the payment log to set a payment, right? So you would see it's gonna be changing here. So let's take a test here. We're looking at May, right here. So this is May. So this is pretty much straightforward. So these are the bills. The bills have been generated for the full year, okay, from January all through to December for the selected year. Now you have your amount, you have your frequency, the start date, and this is the occurrence date. Now for the occurrence date, it gives you the exact date based on the start date you selected, right? So we're looking at May right now. So I'm just gonna mark any one. Let's say here the first one. So let's say the fifth one, sixth. Yeah, any other one. Okay. So here, 6th of May, we're looking at groceries. Let's do another one. Let's say this one as well. Let's take another one. Let's see here. Let's go to the very first one. Rent. Yeah. So let's say this is done here. So we marked 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we're going over to the calendar right now. So we see here it's changed over here. So you see this is marked, this is marked, and this is marked, right? So you see it changed from the red ball to the green check mark. Now we go over to the total paid. You see this comes up, okay? So it adds up these bills, 1, 2, and 3. It gives you the total amount for the bills you marked. Yeah. So it gives you all of these. So that's basically the way this calendar works. So for each bill you mark, it gives you the amount, the total paid, and it gives you the balance. It gives you the percentage of the bills paid. Yeah. So basically, the percentage of this, right? So this amount of this, so that gives you your 16% for the month of May. So you get the upcoming bills. So the upcoming bills are the bills ahead, right? So for all the blue ticked bills, you get this amount. So it's letting you know this amount of bills are yet to come up. So you have this ahead. And let's see here, what else? The overdue bills. So the bills that have not been paid, but they already past due. So basically, yeah, the overdue. And you have one here, you have one. So you've got about 4, 5, 6. Yeah, you've got about 6 bills not paid. You have this amount for the overdue bills. And for each month, you get a bill count for each month. So for the month of May, you're getting a count of 35. So let's check a different month. Let's see. Let's try here. So let's see, maybe February. Let's see what we're going to be getting here. For the month of February, you see, we're getting a bill count of 27 bills for the month of February. Let's try a different month. April. Let's see. Okay, yeah. So you're getting a bill count for 32. So yeah, so different months, you get all of the details for the months. Okay, so I'm just trying to switch it back to May since we are working with May. We're going to be looking at the monthly progress here. So basically this gives you the total bill count for the month, which is 35 bills. You get your monthly bills paid. So far, we've paid about 16% of our bills for the month, and we have 84% balance. So we've paid this amount, and we have this amount outstanding, right? So for the smart tip, yeah, you're also getting same thing. So 3 bills. So this is giving you the number of bills paid versus the total bill count. So the number of bills paid for the month, we can easily count it from here. We have 1, we have 2, and we have 3. So 3 bills of 35 bills have been paid for this month. 32 unpaid bills still need attention. So yeah, so basically the balance of that, you see your year-to-date bills here. You see what you've paid the year-to-date, okay? Or here we get unpaid bills. The unpaid bills we have here, 88,885 and 50 cents euros. So this is for the year to date. And here, so it gives you 9% yearly bills completion. So you keep up with its pace. So this is basically giving you the overview of what you've done so far. Okay. And here, so for the annual snapshots, you're getting your Q1 bills, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. So for the total year, you have this amount for the total year. So based on everything we've put in so far, it's giving us the total bills for the full year. This amount for the different quarters we have is giving us the various amounts. So basically, yeah, this gives you all of the details you need to see with your bills for the year, for the quarter, and for the different months. So say we want to see a month ahead of us. Let's take it, for example, we want to see the month for in December. So let's take a look. Okay, so we have it here. Now we see all of the days, all of the bills in December are all in blue. So they are all upcoming. So nothing has been settled yet, nothing has been worked on. So we've got 29 bills in the month of December. Basically, it gives you everything you need to use. So you see 0% has been paid, money outstanding 100%. Yeah, so basically everything is gotten in here. Looking at the payment log, I just want to talk some more about this. So for the payment log, whatever is being selected here is reflected in the calendar view. Okay, so you just want to make sure you're checking the right bill. So one other thing I could advise would be to use a slicer. The slicer could help you check for the exact month you want. So we've got two major slicers here. So the slicers for the paid and the slicers for the dates, the occurrence dates. Now, let's say we want to slice by the occurrence dates. Let's take a look here. So first of all, we clear what we have here. Let's say we want to select for just for May. Let's say for May. So we have everything in here. Okay. So we have to select all of these and click on OK. You're trying to do, yeah, you go ahead and do this for OK. Okay. Now it's going to be selecting everything for the month of May. So you see here. So we can easily do a quick check here for the month of May. Let's do a quick check. So we get 35 bill counts for the month of May. So let's check it here. Here. So we could easily highlight all of these. Here. So we see the count, 35. So it lets you know, yeah, so this is accurate. Okay. So basically, yeah, so this way it helps you. You could just look, you have the view for the exact month you want. So you could sort by month, you could sort by dates, you could sort by year, right? So you can only view for 1 year. So that's the way the system is set up, the template is set up. You could also view for the payments you've made so far in the year. So you could also sort for the frequency if you want to. Yeah, basically you have all of these. And let's say you want to reuse these templates, you want to reuse it for the year. All you have to do is you don't have to change any of these. I mean, if you don't plan to change the frequency, the names, the dates, anything, whatever you want to do, you could change all of that if you still want to. But then the basic thing you have to do here is to uncheck these for the whole year. So you just need to uncheck all of this for the whole year. So it doesn't show you you're all paid up for the new year. So when you have all of these unchecked, yeah, the system is just going to go ahead and run all of these again for you. Okay. So just before I wrap up, so just a few tips here. So I think I've talked about the first one. The first one would be just making sure this is correctly set to sync with this. So this is 2026. We call for here. Yeah, you should make sure you're selecting a month with 2026. because if you're selecting a different year, like I showed you before, it's not going to work. So I'm just going to do it again. If you're selecting for January 2027, so let's see if anything comes up. Yeah, so you see, everything is on blank. So you just have to make sure you're selecting the right month. Okay, the second tip, the end date. So I'm just gonna check this out here for you. So the end date. So this is one of the cool features we have here, right? So with this feature, this basically tells the template, I don't want this bill to show up after this date, right? So we're just going to take a look and we'll see here. So basically all you do is just do is double click and you select the right date you want to select. So you're just going to work with the date I have here, or we could just select a different date. Yeah, we're going to add more just for the sake of this tutorial. So let's see here. So this starts on the 5th of January. So let's say we don't want it to come up. Let's see here. Today. Okay. Let's add some more. Yeah. Okay. Electricity. 8th of January. Okay. So we don't want it to come up. Let's say in 2 days time. So this time we want it to end. We could just work with this and we just check it out. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to start with the first one, which is for the rent. Okay. So the rent here. So we want the end date to be on the 1st of May. Now, here, let's check on our payment log. Or the 1st of May, we could check May here. So you see here on the billing calendar, we have it on this day, right? So this is the last date. Now, let us check for the next month, May, June, if we're going to see it on the 1st. Yeah, so we see nothing shows up on the 1st of June. So basically, what we have here, this takes effect after this date. Okay, now go check the next one. So the internet plan, the end date, 3rd of June. 3rd of June, internet plan. So this comes up, this is the final date. So let's go to the next month, June, we check July. So see here, nothing comes up, right? You see it's all blank. Okay, so let's check the other one here. So the mobile phone, 5th of May. Let's see. So in May, that will be the final date. Okay. So 5th of May, we have it here. So let's go to the next month. June. So here, nothing comes up. It's all blank. So we check the next one here. June, 5th of May. So we have the electricity. 7th of May. Let's see. Okay. So check May first. See here, it's coming up. Okay. So electricity, where is that here? So let's check the date again. So the 7th of May. So actually 7th comes before the actual date. So yeah, it's not going to come up for the month of May, but we are going to see it for the month of April. So let's check April and see if we're going to see that here. So we see April, electricity. So yeah, so when you get to May, yeah, it's not going to show up because the end date comes up before the actual occurrence date. Yeah, so we have all of that here. So you could select an end date. So let's paint a scenario. Let's say you want a bill to end on a certain date and you want to rename the bill. So you just have to put up the date, and you could just go back to adding a new bill name and set up the date. A new billing name starts up all over again. Okay. So with all of these, you could easily share the link with any household member or with a partner. Just go to file, you share, anyone can view. And I'm just gonna check out these here. So this brings out the next one here. Okay. So these would be the two themes. So the first one was for the dark template, and this is for the soft minimal theme. Basically, this is the complete walkthrough for this bill payment calculator. You could easily get it with the links pasted in the description box below. That would be Etsy and Gumroad, and you could get a copy through them. If you found this tutorial helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps this channel grow. And you could also subscribe if you want to see more tutorials. Any questions, leave a comment below. Message, basically, we'll reply within 24 hours. Thank you so much for watching. I hope the bill payment calendar helps you take control of your bills. See you in the next tutorial.